Dear Maya, Madam President, dear Antonio, indeed, only last week you opened the first negotiation cluster with us. It is a historic milestone. It is opening the door to the accession process to the European Union, and it is a recognition of Moldova's determination, its courage, and its hard work, because that's what's behind it. You have pursued reforms in very difficult circumstances. You have kept your course despite constant pressure and hybrid attacks from Russia. This first cluster is about strong institutions. It's about trusted justice and the rule of law. It is the backbone of the whole accession process. And with today's summit, the European Union and Moldova are taking another step forward together. 1 year ago, we met in Chisinau, and since then, a lot has happened. Moldova joined the single euro payment era, the so-called SEPA. This makes euro transactions between us much faster and much cheaper. It's good for the businesses, it's good for the citizens. Your country also became part of your Rome like at home. This is very important for the citizens because it's eliminating roaming costs for Moldovans and businesses. And Moldova joined the European Environment Agency. These are concrete examples of what gradual integration means. Moldova is moving closer to the European Union, and Moldovan citizens and businesses are already feeling the difference and the benefits. And then, indeed, we have the growth plan. The growth plan is at the heart of your gradual integration into the single market. The principle is very simple. Reforms are bringing Moldova closer to our single market. The reforms are creating a level playing field. And with these reforms comes substantial European investment. And I think one figure says it all. Moldova has completed 93% of the reforms due so far under the growth plan. That's extraordinary. And this has already unlocked 504 million euros in European funds for your country. Of course, today's summit is also about next steps. If Moldova implements all reforms due by the end of this year, an additional 523 million euros can be unlocked. This means better roads and bridges, improved healthcare facilities, better access to financing for the companies, and more opportunities for citizens. So a true win-win situation between Moldova and the European Union. Energy is another key topic. Moldova has made remarkable and hard-won progress in reducing its dependence on Russian gas and electricity. The Vulcanesti-Chisinau high-voltage power line, supported by EU grants and loans, will support your energy's resilience, and it will accelerate your integration into the European electricity grid. Now, we will continue working together to deliver more interconnectors so that the energy can flow to where it is needed and boost energy efficiency of buildings. Because every building we renovate saves energy, and that means less energy import is needed, and that helps us to decouple from volatile global gas markets. Europe's future is also about the next generation, and we want young Moldovans to experience Europe directly. This is why we want to extend Discover EU to Moldova in 2027, so that young Moldovans can travel across Europe, meet other Europeans, and feel part of our shared future. And we're working towards Moldova's full participation in Erasmus Plus as early as 2028. Finally, my last point is on security. Hybrid attacks and the spillover effects of Russia's war of aggression against Ukraine continue to impact Moldova. Disinformation, energy blackmail, cyber attacks, airspace violations. This is the challenge you're facing, we're all facing. And a challenge we will meet together, because Moldova's security is Europe's security. And this is why we're stepping up our support. Under the European Peace Facility, Moldova is already the second largest bilateral recipient after Ukraine, with nearly 200 million euros. And we are preparing a further 120 million euros support package for 2026, focused exactly on your security needs. We will also make available 11 million euros to strengthen Moldova's resilience against hybrid attacks. And we will continue our work through the EU partnership mission on cyber, countering disinformation, and strategic communication. Finally, we are also investing 17 million euros in border infrastructure. You explained to us very plausible how important that is. This will mean stronger surveillance, better detection, greater security for Moldova. And finally, we want Moldova to be more closely involved in the European cooperation network on elections. That's a long term, but it's important that we share experiences and we learn from each other. Dear Maya, Moldova has shown exceptional resilience. It has shown resolve. And it has shown that it belongs to our European family. So thank you very much for this excellent summit, and I'm looking forward to working with you in future.
President Costa, President von der Leyen, thank you. Thank you for the welcome and for a summit that carries our partnership forward. Our joint declaration is clear. Moldova's future is within the European Union. And last Monday in Luxembourg, we opened the first cluster of our accession negotiations, the cluster on fundamentals. Rule of law, democratic institutions, and fundamental rights are at the heart of the European project. So allow me to share with you where Moldova stands today. On the rule of law, the change is real. In 5 years, we climbed 25 places in the Corruption Perception Index by Transparency International and 14 on the World Justice Project Rule of Law Index. Our courts delivered convictions in major corruption cases. The vetting of judges and prosecutors is delivering results. 60% of judges are already assessed, and we will complete this process in the near future. In a single year, citizens' trust in the judiciary has nearly doubled. People who believed they stood above the law have learned that the law applies to everyone. On fundamental rights, progress is also measurable. We rank 31st in the Press Freedom Index by Reporters Without Borders, the best in our region. Last year, Moldova entered the World Economic Forum's top 10 for gender equality. We are widening equal rights and equal opportunities for every Moldovan. On the economy, Europe is already our home market. The EU is our largest trading partner. More than half of our trade in goods is with Europe. European investment has grown by nearly 30% in 4 years. The Moldova Growth Plan is being translated into concrete projects. Thank you for that. And today we welcome 3 new agreements. Gebauer and Griller and the European Commission signed a letter of intent tying our automotive sector deeper into European industrial value chains. The Commission and our high-tech park are joining forces to build a medtech cluster. And our Ministry of Education and Research signed a research framework arrangement with the Commission's Joint Research Centre to advance research and innovation together. On energy, the transformation is clearest. 4 years ago, Moldova relied entirely on Russia as its single supplier. Today, we stand free of that dependency, a move that no single government dared to take for 3 decades. We connected our grid to Europe. We grew renewables from 3 to 25% of our electricity mix. We did this during a crisis with a war next door. We turned our greatest vulnerability into a strength. Citizens stood by our side despite unprecedented economic hardships resulting from increased costs. On security, Moldova is already a contributor to Europe. Our peacekeepers serve in Kosovo, Bosnia, and Lebanon. Our firefighters deploy across Europe when disasters strikes. We share hard-won experiences in countering Russian disinformation, cyber attacks, and dirty money from the front line of the fight for democracy. We stand with Ukraine, whose resilience keeps Moldova at peace. During our chairmanship of the Council of Europe's Committee of Ministers, we advanced in the Special Tribunal for the Crime of Aggression against Ukraine, which will sit in The Hague. And we're doing more than the EU asks us. We have taken on one of our hardest reforms yet of the administrative and territorial structure to bring better public services closer to our people. This is the track record behind our European choice. Commitments made and kept under difficult conditions. We're delivering while facing a hybrid war, information manipulation, electoral interference, energy blackmail, cyber attacks designed to divide us and pull us off our European path. We stood firm. We protected the integrity of our elections. We strengthened our institutions and did not allow dirty money to buy power. We invested in our cyber defenses and built the tools to counter foreign manipulation. We have developed this democratic resilience, which is now the foundation of everything else we're building. That is the strength we bring to this moment. Dear Ursula, dear Antonio, the alignment we have today is rare. A clear mandate from our citizens, reform momentum at home, and recognition in European capitals that enlargement is the best investment in EU security. Windows like this open and they close. Ours is open now. So this is a race against time, and we intend to win it. We ask for one thing, a process built on merit. We stand ready to open all the remaining clusters immediately, and both the Commission and the Council confirm that we're ready. Help us make the best of this moment. We will keep delivering with full responsibility for our citizens who deserve peace, security, and prosperity at home in the European family.